A fender bender in Gibraltar renews discussion on the use of pilots. This is from the Maritime Exclusive, and it was published on the 19th of March 2025. Two vessels made contact in Gibraltar Anchorage early on Tuesday in a similar circumstance to the 2022 incident which led to the loss of the cargo ship OS-35. While the government was quick to report the only damages were minor, it renewed the questions about the use of pilots and the recommendations in the OS-35 report that highlighted that pilots would likely have prevented the incident. Shortly after midnight on Tuesday, March the 18th, the Panama-flagged LNG carrier SM Crystal was getting underway from the western Anchorage. The vessel, built in 2023 in Korea, is part of the New Korea Line subsidiary launched by SM Line. It is 114,000 DWT, 984 feet in length. A spokesperson for the Gibraltar government confirmed to the news outlet that the LNG carrier came in contact with another vessel. They said there was no injuries and no significant damage to either vessel, but both were ordered to remain in the anchorage. Class flag and port inspectors were due to inspect both vessels. And as I record this right now, they're both still on anchor. The SM Crystal made contact with the Panama-flagged Diamond Star 2, 57,700 DWT. The bulker had arrived in the anchorage on March the 17th. It was at anchor in the western Anchorage, which is a busy part of the Gibraltar Bay. Gibraltar has two main anchorages: the eastern, which is used for provisioning and crew changes, and the western, where bunkering operations are conducted. The Gibraltar-based charity, the Environmental Safety Group, issued a statement calling on the government to move forward with the implementation of the safety recommendations after the OS-35 incident. The OS-35 was also maneuvering to leave the western Anchorage in August of 2022, and the vessel encountered problems turning. As it got underway, it struck the bulbous bow and anchor of the Atom LNG carrier, which only suffered minor damage. However, the cargo ship started taking on water and was ultimately directed to another part of the bay so that it could be grounded. It was a total loss, and it took more than a year to salvage the vessel. Gibraltar's regulations only require pilots for berthing and unberthing, and not for departing the anchorage. In the case of the OS-35, there also was no requirements for the master to advise Gibraltar's VTS of the intended plan, so the VTS could not realize the vessel was off plan. The VTS only called the vessel when it became concerned. The report on the loss of the OS-35 recommended that the Gibraltar Port Authority consider introducing compulsory pilotage for the vessels departing the western Anchorage. It also recommended the involvement of the VTS, which could advise vessels on their departure plans. Short of these steps, it also called for Gibraltar pilots to highlight their availability for departures, and that they should make clear the process for requesting pilots for departure. Government officials today told GBC News they were considering all options and exploring carrying out a wider independent navigation risk assessment. Because of its static location at the entrance of the Mediterranean, Gibraltar is a key port for many vessels. It is a busy bunkering port and a frequent stop for vessels for their supplies and other services arriving from overseas or before they depart the region. The Gibraltar Port Authority highlights that approximately 60,000 vessels transit the Strait of Gibraltar each year. This has been brought up a few times now, the idea of having pilots on board when they go in and out of this anchorage. It's a very busy piece of water, and unfortunately accidents are happening. This time they got away with it. It was just a fender bender, not a big deal. No one got hurt, no major damages to the ships. But the OS-35 is going to keep coming up because that one was a nightmare. I covered that one in a different video a while ago when they issued their report. It took over a year to get that ship out of there. Alright guys, there it is. As always, thanks for watching. If you're new here and you like these kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I'll see you on the next one.